Hey, welcome back. This is Pricode channel. If you are interested in programming, productivity, or digital nomad, just click down below on the subscribe button, then click on the bell so you can be up to date with everything we load over here. In today's video, we are going to continue our WordPress plugin development tutorial, and I'm going to add some unit test cases. Um, this is pretty important for for your software career to always add unit cases. It took me a little bit to get it working. It was a little bit complicated of what I remember how it was, but I got it working. I'm gonna show it to you. Finally, I got my coffee, my Colombian coffee. Air and water. It's not that great to turn it into code. So let's gonna do it right now. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is set up our PHP unit environment. For that, we need to, I am in Mac OS. I am not sure exactly how is it done in maybe, I don't know, Windows or Linux. But in theory, it should be so easy, like a apt-get install PHP unit. So let's see, PHP unit installation Linux, just to give you a reference for. So it should be something like this. Yeah, apt PHP unit install Windows. Let's see, PHP unit on Windows. Well, here's a little bit more complicated. Stop using Windows for PHP development. .NET is great. The rest, just use Linux or any Unix system. So in Mac, it's just so simple, like a brew install PHP unit. You also will need to install SVN. The same here in Mac, it's just to brew install SVN. If you don't know what is brew, just take a look. Brew Mac OS. This is the official website for it. There you go. Well, let's see. I don't know why this is always showing me in Spanish things. Well, whatever. This is a package manager similar to apt-get on Linux. So if you don't have it, install it. It's pretty useful. So after you have installed SVN and PHP unit, the first thing that you need to do, and remember that we have our WP CLI thing. When I created this plugin at the beginning, it was with an scaffold, and that scaffold has this SH system. So for this SH system, what is it going to bring? WordPress by default has not unit testing. So what it brings is a factory and helpers that help us to make assertions over the PHP, over the WordPress code that we have. This can be done by themes, plugins, well, whatever. And what it's going to do, it is going to create a small version of WordPress and that factory file. So to do that, I just to simply bin install wp -sh. You see, this is the file, and this is a shell command. Windows will be using by PowerShell, and the other one, well, whatever, Bash, whatever you want to use, and it's going to give us a usage system. So I already have created something like that in the past. So I'm going to do wp test YouTube. This is the user of my MySQL version that I have over here, and no password, and just going to be the host is going to be 127.0.0.1. And the version, I can just set the number 6, but it's going to just simply install the last one. Okay. So there you go. It created the system. Well, let's see if it worked. So it means that in this folder, let's take a look. And we have the WordPress and WordPress test list thing here. Let's see if we have it. Okay. There you go. There is a WordPress installation for, and our WordPress test lives. Let's going to see if it installed it. I want to do it again just to be sure that it's gonna work, because when I was doing this test, it didn't work that cool. So I want to do it again. WP. Then that's YouTube. There you go. It's downloading WordPress. I'm backend. There you go. WordPress is there again. So we have the WordPress installation here. Let's see what it did install. It didn't create the database because it already exists. I can show you here. MySQL show databases. Let's see, use. What's the name that I added this morning? There you go. Tables. Show tables. It's empty right now. And let's see if it did install the WordPress test lives there. There you go. All of them are there. Okay, cool, great. So now we have the framework for the test unit here. What we need to do is we need to follow up this. Okay, so this XML is like the roadmap that PHP unit is gonna take just to follow up all your tests. Okay, so in this case, it's going to exclude this test sample that it has. I mean, it comes from the from this scaffold that we added, but we can just simply take it and create a new file. I'm going to just simply do something like a test YouTube video. Yeah, that's just YouTube video. The cool thing is that it should be something like I don't know if I mean this plugin is not created by class, but if we had some classes, something like I can create a file here, something like this class Pricode ONDB setup, just for give you a reference. And if we add something like class, remember the naming is pretty important. If I have something like a construct here, function construct, and I have on that construct, I have this value equals 5, and if I have a function called here get value, I will then return this value. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm just trying to show you how the test unit should be done. Okay, in our test unit here, okay, I'm gonna save it, and it should be under the test folder, and it should be test YouTube video. Well, let me add it like this. I don't like that much the naming convention on WordPress, but you know, you have to do it as they want. Well, whatever. So any function that I set over here is going to run that that logic that is inside. Okay, all the functions needs to be, I mean, all the tests that are going to be passed, that are going to be tested, they need to be with the test underscore whatever. So if I want to test this, for example, I will then have to do something like a public test this. And if I will be testing this class, I will have to then create something like public function test, I don't know, construct. This is just an example. I am not gonna run this test, but I just wanted to show you how it could be. And it could be something like setup equal new whatever. And so the units, the test units all the time, the idea is to confirm that the data that you are doing on any of your functions, and we should be, I mean, in theory, we should need to do tests for all these functions, you know? And the idea is to follow up an assertion of that data. Okay, so for that, okay, one thing that I just forgot is that as this function inherits from WP test unit case, we always need to set up the parent setup for, you know. It has several functions that are basic ones. So it's like a public function, setup, and I mean, you don't follow it over here because it's on the testing unit, but it does. It's an abstract class that returns a void. Okay, and there you go. And we should then do something like a parent setup. There you go. And you can look at over here. This I want to show it to you because it's pretty cool to understand where things come from. It should do grept. There you go. There you go. Self setup. Let's see if I can find it for you. It's not here. Maybe it's because it's coming from the PHP unit vendor for, well, whatever. I'm gonna give it to you in another video. So it has always the basic one. This is like the setup, and the tear down is when the PHP unit is started, and the only one is it does it finish. So it's a be something like public function, tear down, and we should then also do parent tear down here. This is just for just finish the class and the like the father class that already we started here. Okay, cool, great. So what is the assertion then? Okay, the assertion over here is that, for example, for this, we are going to add a menu page. So I already have this test code for you. And the first thing that we need to do, and it's pretty cool to do it over here in the setup when we are loaded, is that we can create a user for that. So the LP set current user, and it will be cell factory. What is this factory? This factory, it comes from these test slips that we downloaded over here. Okay, so the factory, it comes, as I said, from this test slip that we downloaded over here. So I can create a user for that, and you be something like just user create, and it's going to set up. Okay, I can create something like this user. Maybe we will want to need it later. And I need to pass an array for that. Administrator. And what I'm doing here is that I am set up at the moment that the PHP unit that starts, I'm going to then create a user for that. Okay, so I'm going to then need to load this function here. There you go. And if that menu is loaded, then we need to figure out, okay, this menu page has this URL or not. And for that, I'm going to say, hey, you know what? This assert not empty menu page URL. So menu page URL is going to review, hey, do we have any URL in the menu that has this URL. So let's see if the menu page URL function gets URLs to access particular menu page based on, and it's going to return string the menu page URL. And let's see one thing here. And we are going to set it to false to not display it. And it's going to be search movie. For this case, on the Pricode OMSDB setup, we then going to set something like this assert, this assertion, is numeric, setup value, or equal. Yeah, let's see, PHP unit, this assert equals. Yeah, so it should be something like, let me see, expected, actual, 5. Okay, cool, great. So it should be something like assert equals, the expected is going to be 5 because this is the one that we set up here, right? And it's going to be font. Let's see if it works. In this case, got file this string message could display the error message. Yes. Not found. And there you go. In theory, we finish our PHP unit test here, and it's just so simple. Like go to PHP unit and send it. Let's see what happens. Tear down must be compatible. Okay, yeah. Remember, as this is coming from. Okay, one more thing that I forgot. Always that you set up these values here, it's going to show you this polyfills thing. Okay, so when I was doing my testing, so here I then determined that there is a one thing trick that you have to do. So first thing that you have to do is you see this file, this composer.json. So what I did was, it's because these WP unit cases are coming from this specific library. Okay. As I said, WordPress has not built-in unit cases, so it's important to just use another, let's say, like a libraries. There are many ones. There are WP Mock, Brian, and this was that is the Joe's one. I'm just using the basic one that comes from this one, but you can use many others, and I can maybe add more about that in my blog. I'm going to give you the link over there on my blog, because I can go further how the PHP test units can be. But this is just a simple way, okay? Also, in upcoming videos, I'm going to try to make a clone for several plugins, or a real plugin that I'm going to even publish. And we are going to do that series of videos. I mean, we are going to try to follow up those videos and make it up perfect. This is just for training for you, for understanding the concepts, okay? So for that, I added these PHP units polyfills, and it's just so simple, like a WP composer required. There you go, okay? And if it doesn't work for you, just simply add the required def. I mean, I don't know why you should use that, but well, whatever. And it's going to then install this vendor folder. So this folder is going to bring a bunch of things over here that allows you to do the PHP unit test for. Okay, so we have the unit test then, and that class, specifically that function, as I said in setup, okay, here, it is going to also be a void because of the abstract class is saying that. So let's go into then class PHP unit there again. There you go. If it pass, okay. So okay, this is it's saying me that it's not found because I am not including them. Okay, so just for the test, I'm not going to then leave class Pricode OMDB. Okay, there you go. And it's going to be class there. Just 1 sec. PHP. This is gonna run it again. Okay, cool. There's one error. Test construct undefined property value. Let's going to add public value here. There you go. Value is gonna run in again. This not found. Fellas and most value match. Okay. And I am going to then try to do this 1 sec. Setup value. Let me do an echo here. To the setup value. And is this one? Yes, it is. Construct. And okay, I know the why. Sorry for that. It's because this. Try it again. There you go. So asserting that in null matches not file. Construct. Why not? Okay, why not? Why not? Let me see. Here. Sorry. Let's try it again. PHP unit. There you go. We got that. So now we have our test. You can create as many tests as you want. Remember that always your test needs to be test dash whatever the class is yours, and always set up the the setup and the tear down are very important. Well, not super important, but it's good to keep the conventions for. And this is it. You can also add many other asserts. This is just for the testing that we were doing here. In upcoming videos, I'm going to be very strict on the things that we are going to do in our unit testing, but it's going to be in another series of videos. This is just for your information. Hope you enjoyed. Well, no more coffee. I finished it all. And we also finished our unit test cases. So As I said on the video, I mean, this is just simply, I mean, developing with test units is a little bit quite longer. I mean, it's a very good practice on the software development, and maybe in the WordPress world is not that used, but it's important that just to keep it, because if you bring or you have a very big site, it's important to have unit testing. We also can create another video for making jQuery testings, but that's a total apart video. I hope you have enjoyed. Remember, if you have any questions, just leave the comment. You can also follow us on Pricode.io in our blog. Of course, blog is not ready yet, but it's going to be at the end of the month, as I said before. You can follow me on @AldiNomad. That's my personal Instagram. You can follow us on github.com/Pricoders. All the code that I have been doing over the videos is going to be there. If you think that this video is useful, just share it. We are also on Twitter, twitter.com/Pricoders. And if you like the video, just give a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.